Welcome to Machokes on the Daf. We're holding in Chulin Daf Ayin Gimel. The Gemara on the top of the Amud brings the question from the previous Daf: why is the aver of a uber? Why is the limb causing tumah? It's not really touching. It's considered to be tumas beis estarm. You don't see here a touch. So the Ravina in the end of Amud Bey says that because the uber is lechatzicha, uber is about to be cut. Anything which is about to be cut is already considered to be cut, so that's why it's considered to be touching. And the Gemara concludes and says that everybody agrees with this, because this is considered to be chiburi oichlim, this is food which is connected, and that's considered to be separated, and that's considered to be kechotoch dami according to everybody. This is the answer of Ravino, and the first Mandamar in the Gemara did not say the answer of Ravino. Now, we find in the Bishei Sif and Lechem, Siman Kuf Samech Zayin, in Sif Aleph, regarding the discussion how to cut a bread. As Tosfos brings in brachas, if you cut the bread after the bracha, there will be a hefsek between the bracha and the eating. So therefore it's better to start cutting the bread before you do the bracha. But how much can you cut? So the Mishneh says, in the name of the Rosh, that you should cut enough that if you hold one piece of the bread, the other piece will go with it. And you learn from Tumah and Tahara and Maseches Tvul Yom. Then the Mishneh brings Rabbeinu Baruch. Rabbeinu Baruch said, no, even if you cut more, and when you hold one piece, the other one will not go with it, it's still considered to be a Shalem, and the bracha is Chal and Dover Shalem. Mishneh argues with Rabbeinu Baruch, and he says, first of all, everybody argues with him, and second, ain't Tam Ladvarf. What's the reason that you can use a bread which it's considered to be already cut? So in Shailos V'Tshuvos Shar Ephraim Siman Aleph, he starts bringing our Gemara to show that you can learn from Tumah and Tahara regarding the din of bread, the din of Lechem Mishneh. You can learn one from each other. He says the Rosh is learning from Maseches Tvul Yom that you have to cut a bread in a way that when you hold the big piece, the small piece will go with it. But then he continues, he brings Rabbeinu Baruch. And he says, so what's the Pshat and the Machokes of the Rosh and Rabbeinu Baruch? So he says Rabbeinu Baruch learns like our Sugyo, the Kol ha'imid lachtoich kechotoch dami. Once something is about to be cut, it's considered to be cut already. And by oichlim, in food, the Gemara concludes, chiburi oichlim k'man mifrit tidami, meaning the connected food is considered to be disconnected. So if so, every single bread is considered to be disconnected, especially if you start cutting it. So you have to say that even though it's already considered to be cut, it's good enough for Lechem Mishneh. When Chazal said to do Lechem Mishneh, that's what it means. It means that right now it's connected. So says Rabbeinu Baruch, so also if it's cut away, if you pull one, the other one doesn't pull, it's also good enough. Because anyway, it's considered to be cut, but as long as it's connected to each other, it's good enough to be a Shalem, to be a Lechem Mishneh. So therefore, even in the case of that you can't pull one, the other one goes after it, is also considered to be Shalem. And what will the Rosh say? The Rosh holds, we don't paskin like this sugya, the Kol ha'imid lachtoich kechotoch dami. We don't paskin like Ravina. So immediately you'll go back to Maseches Tvul Yom and say that as long as when you pull one, the other one pulls with it, then it's good. If not, it's not. And many of the Chayim discuss this Inyan. If you look at the Chazos Sofer and Chaim Sinim Menvav, he adds that then he asked, in general, how can you have a Lechem Mishneh? You're always going to cut the bread. Says the Chazos Sofer, that's not a question, because if that's the Peulas of mitzvah, that's what you're supposed to do. You don't say when you have a mitzvah to go and burn something, you don't say it's about to be burnt, it's already burnt. Because that's the mitzvah to do it. You don't consider that it was already done. So the Lechem Mishneh about to cut, then we don't say but we're talking about the discussion that you already start to cut the bread. So once you start to cut the bread, then you say not because of the mitzvah, because the mitzvah is chaticha. So then we come and say that it really depends on the discussion or not. So it's fascinating to see. You learn a sugyo that has to do with regarding regarding a uber, and it connects to the halacha l'maisa and Orach Chaim regarding cutting Lechem Mishneh on Shabbos. Anyone who wants to join or sponsor the Shor Machshava Shiurim, please email shormachshava@gmail.com.